Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to tell you a story. It's a story about a girl named Lily, but it might also be a story about you, or someone you know. It's the story of the girl who forgot how to smile, and more importantly, how she found her smile again. Have you ever felt like a gray cloud was following you around, even on the sunniest days? That's how Lily felt. She used to be the kind of girl whose laughter was like a melody, whose smile could light up a room. She loved painting vibrant sunsets, baking cookies that filled the house with warmth, and telling silly jokes that made her little brother giggle. Her world was a kaleidoscope of bright, happy colors. But slowly, almost without her noticing, the colors started to fade. It began with small things. A project at school didn't go as planned. A friend said something that stung a little. The pressure to be perfect, to always get things right, started to feel like a heavy backpack she couldn't take off. The vibrant reds, yellows, and blues of her world began to smudge into a blurry, monotonous gray. Soon, the things that once brought her joy felt like chores. The paintbrushes gathered dust. The cookie jar remained empty. The laughter lines around her eyes started to disappear, replaced by a constant, low-level hum of worry. When she looked in the mirror, she saw a stranger. Her face was there, but the light behind her eyes was gone. She had forgotten how to smile, not just for photos, but a real, genuine, from-the-heart smile. It felt like a language she no longer spoke. Her family noticed. "What's wrong, sweetie?" her mom would ask, her voice full of concern. "You seem so quiet." Lily would just shrug, unable to put words to the emptiness she felt inside. How do you explain that you've lost something you can't even see? How do you describe the feeling of being a spectator in your own life? It felt isolating, as if she were trapped behind a pane of invisible glass, watching everyone else experience joy while she was stuck in the quiet gray. This feeling, this slow dimming of the lights, is something so many of us go through. It's often called burnout, or just feeling lost. It's that overwhelming sense that the demands of life have drained your battery, and you're not sure where the charging station is. We get so caught up in the doing homework, doing chores, doing what's expected of us that we forget about the being. Just being present, being happy, being ourselves. For Lily, the turning point didn't come with a lightning bolt or a dramatic event. It was a quiet afternoon. She was sitting by her window, watching a tiny hummingbird flit from flower to flower. It moved with such energy, such purpose, yet with such effortless grace. It wasn't worried about whether it was the best hummingbird or if it was visiting the right flowers. It was just being a hummingbird. And for the first time in a long time, Lily felt a tiny spark, a flicker of something other than gray. That tiny spark was the beginning of her journey back to herself. She decided to try something small. She picked up a single paintbrush, not to create a masterpiece, but just to feel the bristles on the canvas. She dipped it in a bright, sunny yellow and made a single, simple stroke. It wasn't much, but it was a start. It was a choice. The next day, she went for a walk without her phone. She listened to the sound of the leaves crunching under her feet. She noticed the intricate patterns of a spider's web, glistening with morning dew. She wasn't trying to achieve anything. She was just noticing. She was practicing the art of being present, just like the hummingbird. This is a first, and perhaps most important, step in finding your smile again, rediscovering the small wonders. We often think that happiness comes from big achievements, getting the perfect grade, winning the game, getting 1,000 likes on a post. But true, sustainable joy is often found in the small, everyday moments. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite tea, a kind word from a stranger. These are the pixels that create the bigger picture of a happy life. Lily then did something brave. She talked to someone. She sat down with her dad and finally put words to the grayness. She said, "Dad, I feel lost. I don't feel like myself anymore, and I don't know why." Saying it out loud was terrifying, but it was also incredibly freeing. The invisible glass wall began to crack. Her dad didn't offer a quick fix or tell her to just cheer up. He listened. He told her it was okay not to be okay. He reminded her of the vibrant, joyful girl he knew was still inside her. Reaching out is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of immense strength. Whether it's a friend, a family member, a teacher, or a professional counselor, sharing your burden makes it lighter. You realize you're not alone in the grayness. There are people who will hold a lantern for you until you can find your own light again. If you're ever feeling this way, please know that help is available. There are resources and people who genuinely want to support you. With this support, Lily started to rebuild her world, piece by piece, color by color. She began what I like to call joy journaling. Every night before bed, she would write down 3 small things that brought her a flicker of happiness that day. Some days it was hard. "The sandwich I had for lunch was pretty good," she might write. But other days, it was easier. "I saw a dog with fluffy ears," or "my favorite song came on the radio." This simple practice rewired her brain. It trained her to actively look for the good, to hunt for the moments of light in the sea of gray. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. She wasn't forcing herself to be happy. She was simply creating space for happiness to enter. She also reconnected with her passions, but with a new perspective. She started baking again, not to impress anyone, but for the simple joy of kneading the dough and the delicious smell that filled the kitchen. She gave the cookies away to her neighbors, and their smiles gave her a warmth that was even better than the cookies themselves. She painted, not for a grade, but for the sheer pleasure of watching colors blend and come alive on the page. She created messy, imperfect, joyful art. Her art. Slowly but surely, the smile returned. It started as a small, hesitant curve of her lips when her brother told a silly joke. Then, it grew into a genuine grin when she saw her finished painting, a swirl of chaotic, beautiful colors. One day, she was out with her friends, and she let out a full, deep belly laugh. It startled her for a second. The sound was so familiar, yet so foreign. It was a melody she thought she had lost forever. Looking in the mirror, she saw the light back in her eyes. The colors of her world were returning, richer and more profound than before because now she appreciated them so much more. She hadn't just found her old smile. She had found a new one. A smile that was wiser, more resilient, and deeply grateful. A smile that understood that gray days happen, but they don't last forever. A smile that knew that even after the longest night, the sun will always rise again. Lily's story is a reminder that it's okay to lose your way. It's okay to forget how to smile. We all have moments, or even long seasons, of gray. The journey back isn't about erasing the sadness or pretending the hard times didn't happen. It's about integrating them. It's about learning that our strength doesn't come from never falling, but from getting back up, time and time again. If you are in that gray place right now, be gentle with yourself. Start small. Notice one beautiful thing today. Reach out to one person. Do one thing that used to bring you joy, with no pressure or expectation. Your smile isn't gone forever. It's just waiting for you to find it again. It's there, in the small wonders, in connection, in the courageous act of being your wonderfully imperfect self. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope Lily's story brought a little bit of color to your day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories and conversations like this one. Take care of yourselves and remember to look for the joy. See you in the next video.